So what I was gonna say, this is our second time trying to record here. Uh, we're gonna just call this episode Rebel Heart. Did you get a chance to finish watching War Games? I know you had to break
I
it up.
I didn't. I ran into some traffic coming home from the hospital, so that's the men's match is the only thing I haven't seen. Um,
Um, okay, well, there'll be a little bit of spoilers here, but you know, we got Johnny Gargano kind of finished with the way, uh, which tonight, or it might be his swan song. This War Games, never been in a War Games. They did Champa and Gargano did the glorious bomb on social media one more time, not with Rude, but with other people in the background. And we got Rebel Heart as an entrance music, kind of one last time, and like his gear was an homage to like all his takeover over gears from over the years. So I think it's I don't know, they're really leaning into it, and they went with a like it almost would be a huge swerve if he did resign, and he's going to promise to tell you everything on Tuesday. So who knows what that's going to be about. But it was a good match. It was a great match. We had some nice DIY moments, and I'm excited for you to get a chance to watch it. I mean, to me, NXT, and I'll stop dominating this conversation here, but for me, it's always been in Gargano and Ciampa. That's what drew me in. That's what kept me going, and keep me coming back for it.
yeah, the only reason I'm not convinced he's leaving is the I'll see you on Tuesday to tell you everything
Yeah,
thing. Because it would be a little weird for them to devote post War Games to devote more TV time to him if he was leaving anyway.
yeah,
So that was a little weird. Um, that's the only reason I'm not just immediately like, oh yeah, he's on his way out the damn door. Everybody kind of saying bye to him on social media, sort of
mm.
hints that his decision was made, but I think it might be a work. I think he's staying.
The argument for the fact that it's not a work is like the kind of the Moxley, the Dean Ambrose, like Shield special they did, on
That's
his way
true.
out the
Yeah.
door. Like that's the one thing. And if anything, that shows maybe like Cole, he doing an exceptional job about not burning bridges and leaving. And I guess one of the rumors I saw that like the WWE people are happy with the fact that he's gotten other talent over, like as well as he has over his time in NXT. And if nothing else, like his time in NXT has been a success for the company, and then they're grateful for it.
Yeah.
So, the work he's done with Theory and Dexter Loomis and all those other talents, kind of over the years, it's been quite a big success, I think.
That's
So,
true. I guess giving him a swan song after he took took Austin Theory under his wing when he had to
yeah,
come back to NXT and got him to where he is. Because I mean, Vince definitely sees Austin Theory as a big time thing.
yeah,
So yeah, maybe he gets 10 minutes of TV time to thank everybody
yeah.
as a kind of a thank you for getting Vince's next big thing over.
Mhm.
But
And I also could think, even if he signs or not, I almost could kind of think like he might just take some time off, like
yeah,
with Candace being pregnant and stuff like that, and like he might take time off. He might, Candace has to go back to WWE at some point when she's done with her maternity leave. So maybe he's stay at home dad for a little bit and stuff, and maybe we don't see him until like the beginning of 2023. Maybe he does take like a good solid year off.
yeah.
So.
What did you glean from the Kyle O'Reilly ending? Because I kind of got the impression that he's on his way out the door too.
Yeah, I feel like I was going into War Games. Let's just talk about this match first. This, the War Games matches are always great. They're always fantastic. I haven't watched a bad one. Blood and Guts was also good, which is the same type of match. I thought that men's tag match against Imperium was the match of the night. Even with the good, tugging on the heartstrings moments they had in the men's War Games match with Johnny Gargano specifically. Um, I forget the big dude that Kyle's partners with. What his name
I
is?
just the living caveman. I
Yeah,
couldn't tell you what his name is, but
reject from a
that's
Geico commercial.
yeah, yeah,
Um, and it doesn't matter because it's Fabian. It's Fabian like stole the whole damn night
yeah.
like last night.
Yeah, he is just there's no other way to put it. He is superhuman. Um,
Yeah,
a guy that's built like him should not be able to do half the shit he pulled off in that match. When he sprang off the two ropes to hit that moonsault, like I was sitting in the waiting room at the hospital, and I popped in the chair that I was sitting in. Um, like he's superhuman. It's absolutely nuts. That match was incredible. Um, Honestly, when I told you over text when I finished that women's match, because they absolutely beat the hell out of each other and it was amazing. We'll give it a couple of minutes here in a second. I didn't know. I thought this tag match had been stuck in like a really bad spot and like nothing was gonna. I don't know. I thought everything was doomed, like following that lead in. Um, and they tore it down. I mean, that I haven't watched the men's match yet, but like that tag match was something truly special.
yeah. I wouldn't say the War Games is the men's War Games match is my favorite War Games match, but it was up there. But yeah, again, tag match steals the show. Like
Yeah,
some of those aerial moves he was doing, and just the sheer power of the dude. Like I don't know, he kills it. And Kyle and the big caveman dude, they do. It's a great match. It's a good match. Um, they are unsuccessful, and Caveman turns on Kyle O'Reilly, which Kyle O'Reilly quickly puts to rest. Like he doesn't like, no, this is not what's going to happen. But we're going to get a match on Tuesday in the cage. Uh, Kyle O'Reilly versus Big Caveman, dude.
oh, see, I thought Kyle O'Reilly got his I'm out of here moment when he leaned down and hit him with the
Yeah.
undisputed era. I thought, oh yeah, oh shit, here it comes. I hope the Bucks are ready for it.
No, but I think I still believe he's on his way out. I think he's doing the classic going out on his back, putting over a new talent
Yeah,
in this cage match, which I think is, yeah, again, a good use of him. It would be a surprise. I was kind of going into this not knowing kind of where he's going, but I don't think there's a future for Kyle on the main roster. So,
no,
and I don't think, there's certain people that just they need to be on larger stages, and AEW will provide that.
yeah.
It's gonna feel weird if Kyle and Gargano do end up going to AEW, because it's just gonna at some point it just feeling like it's old black and gold at some point.
Yeah, it's
So
with the exception of Champa, it is going to be everybody that. Well, I guess Gable
yeah,
is probably the only exception, and he's doing pretty well on the main roster. Well, I mean, not like winning championships or anything, but he gets TV time.
yeah,
But yeah, and I listened to a bunch of the podcasts that Adam Cole did, and the crazy thing is that when Adam Cole turned up at All Out, he said that was the first time in his career that he worked somewhere that Kyle O'Reilly didn't work.
yeah,
That I mean, the first match he ever put on in front of a crowd was against Kyle O'Reilly. Like their careers have basically run side by side since he started. So yeah, it would be a little weird for him not to jump ship, especially. I mean, his longtime tag partner is already doing well over there, so we can get Red Dragon back. I'm excited to see what they do with him because he's a star. It's easy to get overshadowed when you're in a faction and you're standing next to Adam Cole. But he's a star. His promo work is great. Him turning the belt into a guitar on his way to the ring is awesome. So we need to get a belt on him. But yeah,
one. So Brian Danielson recently had an interview saying that one of his goals in AEW is he wants to have a faction and wants to start a faction, have one. Now we kind of think Adam Cole, like, what if there is a war Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly are not on the same side, and we have American Red Dragon.
I'm down for it.
Yeah,
Because like American Red Dragon against Super Click, just take
yeah,
my money and tell me where I've got to fly to. Um, that's too much awesomeness in one ring.
yeah. I didn't come, but there's someone on Reddit that suggested that, and it was like that would be amazing, and I would be all for that. And that's what I would like to see. Like, you can do an Adam Cole like Red Dragon reunion, undisputed reunion at some point later down the line, but no, it's fine. Like that's
That
what needs to happen.
I think that would be the match that I would finally go to New York for a show for. Because up until now, it's cost prohibitive to go to anything in New York City.
Right.
I think I would find a way to make that, even if it was just I fly into JFK, train to the arena, and then I fly the hell home as soon as the show ends, and don't see any of New York other than the inside of a train.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man. So we got that going on. Let's talk about the other matches before we get to the women's War Games match. We had let's talk the one without a championship. We had Duke Hudson versus Cameron Grimes, hair versus hair match. One thing I did like about this match, I like the fact that they used that second ring to just go ahead and have a barber chair just set up there. Like, I thought that was pretty cool. Instead of having them to bring in something, it's just like it's already another ring right here. Let's do it.
Yeah, that and the way the War Games cages were staged, like they did a very good job of maximizing the space that they have in that tiny building.
Right. I felt like this match could have just been a Wednesday, sorry, a Tuesday night match. I didn't think it needed to be on this card at all. Like, you could have cut this match. I love Cameron Grimes, love everything about him, but it didn't need to be there. Like, I feel like it wasn't, but I feel like the next match could have been considered the cool down match that you needed before that men's War Games match.
I I think the only reason this ended up on the War Game show instead of a Wednesday night is because Duke Hudson was kind of the odd man out of their 2.0 gang.
uh,
So they had to find a way to get him on this show. Because if this literally was like say goodbye to the black and gold guys, this is our new crop. Um, they had to do something.
yeah,
I thought it was a little weird they didn't find anywhere on this card for like, I mean, aside from a backstage promo, any of the Legado del Fantasma guys,
yeah.
because they're great, and I would have thought there was a place for them somewhere here. Um, then again, I don't know. I think that I'm still sour on the whole idea that Joe Gacy had a fucking cruiserweight title match. Um,
Well, so let's get to that. So Craven Grimes kept his hair. All's right in the world. I don't like this poker player gimmick. I think it's like half baked. So let's move on to another gimmick that's they've at least spent more time on it, but I hate it. Joe Gacy versus cruiserweight champion Roderick Strong. Where if Joe Gacy wins the championship, he will turn it into the all-inclusive championship, which probably meant, just the 205 championships. The cruiserweight championships is just gonna go away like real fast, completely disappear. Um, you know, for as much as we both kind of talked about how we dislike this gimmick, and I think I was reading a Cage Side thing the other day too. It was talking about how it's like poking fun at the left or whatever, but there's no kind of like anything on the other side either, like that
yeah,
really WWE's ever done. So that's why it feels like distasteful, and knowing kind of the McMahon politics and all that. But we're not a political show here. But moving on from that is just kind of, I don't know, kind of lame. And I think Beth Phoenix pointed out he just uses buzzwords, but he doesn't, like, I don't know, believe in anything he says.
the strangest thing about the entire gimmick to me is unless he's just not developing real well, Parker, who has been hailed by guys even as high up as Paul Heyman as the next Brock Lesnar, just stands around behind this guy.
Yeah.
Like, that's the most perplexing thing. Like, if you've got Paul Heyman saying that this dude he's Brock Lesnar 2.0, like, which fits entirely into the narrative of NXT 2.0, why aren't we showcasing this guy? Um, I feel like I've talked till I'm blue in the face about the Joe Gacy gimmick,
Yeah.
and if he had taken this belt and it became like a casted by the wayside thing, or if they just did away with the cruiserweight belt in general, it really would be such a damn disservice to all of these guys that are so good.
Yeah.
Um, I would love to see them actually pay a little more attention to this belt. Like, Roderick Strong should appear on a SmackDown, and Chad Gable have a match with Chad Gable for this thing, or because there are still so many of these like incredible talents that are the smaller guys. They're not going to get a Kofi level push at any point in Vince's new scheme for what the company is. But there's so many things you can still do with this belt, like it. And I don't know. I'm still
Yeah.
pissed that they took a steamer on 205 Live. Like, the day that Odyssey Jones had a match on 205 Live, I thought, well, this one's done.
Well, speaking of steamers, did you happen to see that weird ass commercial that they ran in the middle of it with the fancy jacket dude? He ate a
I
bunch of food and he took a dump. Like, it
that
showed him in the bathroom. Like, I don't know. And then he took like a selfie recorded video like of himself on the toilet like afterwards. It was so
I
strange.
I on takeovers, I like to watch them the next day because I like to skip all the wasted time.
Yeah.
So that must have gotten missed. I did think it was weird now that they have paired him with the Marty McFly guy.
Yeah.
What the hell is his name?
Oh man, now I can't remember now that
Kushida.
you said that. Kushida, yeah.
Where was he in those promos?
Thankfully not
like
in it because I wouldn't want to
like
be in it.
is is Kushida on the chopping block already?
Yeah.
But like, I thought that was a little weird. Um, they keep doing these videos for those two like redneck bar fight guys, but they're never actually on TV, which is a little
Yeah.
strange. But I must have missed Jiro taking a shit on TV.
You didn't really miss it. I missed it actually, and then someone posted it online and was like, "Oh, this is what I missed." Like I think I must have got up to like I don't know do anything else like during the
Yeah,
because it was just in the jump of all those commercials that they're
yeah,
running between every match now. Um, So, like, what do we have next? We had the women's War Games match, which started off the show, which I'm thankful for because I was coming from Dune that just ended at 5 o'clock. So all the entrances filled. I got there when the bell rang, so it still worked out. I liked the fact that they had the cages kind of above, and you could see them kind of in when they had that wide camera. You could see them in the back, which I thought was cool. Like because we were worried that maybe because they'd run out of space that they would have to put them backstage, so it wouldn't be as interesting. But I thought that was a good cool placement. They had to kind of run down through the crowd to get into the match. So
yeah. This match was nuts. I
yeah,
loved every minute of this damn thing. Um, and hats off to both Kaylee Ray and Dakota Kai because they took some bumps in this thing that like I mean I cringed a couple of times. They were on like Nick Gage level. I mean Dakota Kai in the trash can getting thrown around like Darby in a body bag. That that was nuts. Um, and then Io Shirai kicking the medical trainers away from the
oh yeah.
cage, shutting the door, and then popping Cora Jade's arm back into place so she could finish the match. Whoever, but unless she's actually hurt, and like
Oh,
Io
I don't
was
think
like
so.
Io was like, I can fix this thing, which I didn't think so either. But whoever booked this match, like they deserve a damn Emmy. Like every ounce of this match was brilliant, and I loved. The only thing that I can say was detrimental was at the end when everybody got knocked down. It took her so damn long to decide to go for that pin. There's no way anybody didn't kick out of that.
Yeah.
I could only suspend disbelief for so long. Um, but
But
other than that, this match was nuts, and I absolutely loved it.
I think, what, Cora Jade's only like 20. I think,
Yeah,
she hasn't been training that long. So I think the way they went with that injury angle with the shoulder and all that, I think it was like an excellent way of protecting her in this match, because this is a big deal match, like, to be in, and it's a real tough match to be in for no matter if you've been doing this for 20 years. So the fact that, they did a believable angle to like protect her in that cage, um, I thought was a fantastic move. So whoever produced this match, I don't know. You're right. Just throw all the awards at them.
yeah.
Some Slammies. Yeah,
It was amazing. Like,
yeah,
and they must think extremely highly of her to have put her in here and put her in a spot where they could protect her like that. Because I
yeah,
mean, you've got ex Ninja Warrior winner Catanzaro just not on TV, um, who probably could have done some really killer spots, but they wanted to make sure she was the one that was in this match. So I'd keep an eye on her because they think very very highly of her. Um,
yeah.
but yeah, if she had tried to take as green as I'm assuming she is at 20, if she tried to take some of those Kaylee Ray bumps, she probably dies during this match.
Yeah. Before we jump on to Dynamite, whatever, we're going to take a quick pause here, and we'll be right back. All right. So Dynamite. I hope you enjoyed that commercial break for whatever I decided to put in there. So you were there. You were
I
there at
was.
Dynamite.
I was in Duluth, lovely Duluth, Georgia. They kept calling and Dasha even in the ring said for TV purposes we're going to refer to everything as Atlanta, and the crowd went nuts. Like she probably got a bigger boo than Cody did at any point um,
Wow.
when she said that. And like I texted you, like you can. There's so many things that you could have called that Atlanta street fight, like based on Duluth, or we're only a couple of minutes from Suwannee. You could have called it the Suwannee street fight. Like there's a bunch to it, but yeah, I mean the show was great. I don't watch Dark or Elevation,
Mm-hmm.
but I was amazed to see like all the talents that do wrestle on those shows. I mean, I notice on the ticker sometimes, um, but rather than have a match in essentially like his hometown, Dustin was on Elevation in a
Mm.
six man tag, I believe that one was. He got to look really good in front of the home crowd. I'm pretty sure Lee Johnson's from Atlanta too, so
Yeah.
that may have been just kind of a way to make sure they both got a match on that card somewhere. Um, the Hollywood Hunk, and I think they're called the Pretty Picture now.
Mm.
Um, I'm not because they were waxed and vaxed for a while, and then they were Hot Boy Summer, and I think they're called the Pretty Picture now. But those guys are great. Caesar Bonani, I'm kind of surprised he hasn't moved further up cards because he's huge. Um, but yeah, outside of Dark and Elevation, just a great show from them throughout the duration of Wednesday. We'll refer to it as Friday when we get to Rampage, and I get to geek out about my what was my match of the week until this morning. Uh, but
I can't believe we got a flaming table. Like, what is Cody going to do the next time he comes to Atlanta?
I
That's the problem.
Yeah, I didn't know if he was going to be able to top some of the crazy stuff he did in that cage match when they were at State Farm.
Yeah.
But yeah, um, going for the pinfall while still on fire. Uh, I've got to admit, it definitely was a step a step further. That match was great. I know because I went back and watched pieces of it on TNT, and it sounded like he was getting booed a hell of a lot harder than he actually was in that building.
Hmm.
Um, he got quite the pop inside the building. I don't know if maybe it was after the show went off the air, because I couldn't really tell where we were timeline wise. Um, but yeah, I mean he got quite an ovation from that crowd. Um, that match was nuts. Thought it was a oh no, that may have been that was Dynamite, the Jade or Rampage, the Jade Cargill squash match.
Yeah.
Um, the most surprising thing I think was the pop that Wardlow got. Um, those people
Oh
went
yeah.
nuts, went
'Cause it-
absolutely nuts for Wardlow. Um, and
he's not
Wardlow
from there. Yeah.
no, and he just like ate it up, man. I'm pretty sure they gave him like a 45-second spot there, and the crowd went
Mm.
so nuts that he just kept slamming that guy. Every time they one more time, he was like, "All right, let's do it." Because at one point, even Sean Spears was like, "Come on, we got to get the hell out of here." Um, yeah, I don't know what that guy did to deserve any of that, but Wardlow got a hell of a pop, which I liked because I would like to see him get a bit of a singles push, soon.
I mean,
Um,
maybe there was a good chunk of people that were at that State Farm show like last time
yeah,
that they were in Atlanta, and he was. I remember him because until that point he really didn't have any match. He
yeah,
might have had some matches on Dark or something, but he didn't really have much at all. And to be in that big match with Cody and
yeah. He
both of
showed
them
out.
delivered.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
um,
maybe just people remembering that like from and then we're there at State Farm
it's a
possibly.
possibility. It
Yeah.
further it just makes it worse knowing that at some point soon I'm gonna have to watch Punk go over him. Um, but I'll find a new way to shit on Punk every week. Oh, tip for Dynamite goers, Dynamite/Rampage, whichever show you're at. If you want to go to concessions and not have to stand in line at all, wait until that first note of Cult of Personality hits. You can just walk right up and get whatever the hell you want. I was the only person in the concourse area that wasn't an employee of the arena. Uh, it was absolutely nuts. But yeah, that's where I'm at on this Punk thing. That
Well,
I went and got a hot dog.
I thought like in during WrestleMania, like when we went in New Orleans, I forget which number that is now, but 34. But
I
either
think so.
way,
Yeah.
um, my whole plan was like, okay, when we hear the Undertaker gong, I'm gonna go concessions, go to the restroom and stuff for this like long ass WrestleMania because that Superdome is a nightmare. Um, and I was right. There was like no one there, like no lines. But then that match with John Cena, like I was only gone for 4 minutes, and it was everything was done because it was a squash. So random note here: there's a Kevin Hart, like it's sponsored by like Old Spice or something, but like where they sit in um, like tubs full of ice and they talk about things. The woman with Undertaker is charming, and he isn't wearing some kind of political T-shirt that like it makes me angry. And it's just nice. And like he talks about how his like daughter like loves John Cena, and it was like she was really mad at him for like for like beating him. Um, and it was I don't know really fun. I actually do recommend that.
So I'll have to find that because I haven't seen it. But
Mm.
speaking of the Undertaker, that actually is a wonderful segue, because I got to see Billy Gunn wrestle Sting. It ended up
Oh
being a
yes.
tag match. Did you know that Billy Gunn is 2 years older than the Undertaker?
I did not know, but he looks amazing.
Billy Gunn and Sting both broke into pro wrestling in 1985. So like their careers have run, side by side. They are both older than the Undertaker, and Billy Gunn still looks like that and puts on a show. Um, like You'd never know it. Hell,
Yeah,
when he was like in charge of the match and like on top, I was in the Attitude Era again, man. He hit that
yeah.
crotch chop, and I teleported back to DX days. Uh, I couldn't believe it when I you sent me that Reddit thing this morning about interesting tidbits about wrestlers, and it was like Billy Gunn is older than the Undertaker, and I thought, holy shit! Uh,
Wow.
yeah,
Yeah. Any other kind of highlights from the show?
there was so much that happened. I it got a little late, and I powered through for Rampage, and I'm glad I did. So aside from Cody setting on fire, which sort of like the whole rest of the show became a bit of a blur at that
Mm,
point. I mean, it was a good show. I had a good time. Um, I enjoyed being there early to see some of the dark matches. It was a little strange, but I guess when they're trying to do this much content, um, dark matches are only like 2.5, 3 minutes long.
yeah.
Um, some of them including entrances. That 6-man tag match, it took them longer to get to the ring than the match lasted, uh,
Yeah.
which was a little weird. But you get to see a lot more of the talent when you're like, I guess if you watch Dark, you see it. But if you do go to the shows, go a little early, catch some of it. I mean, I got to see Riho. Um, there was a strange match with Abaddon and Bunny were on opposite tag teams, and they were paired with two Asian wrestlers who I was not at all familiar with. And the Abaddon pairing was super strange.
Hmm.
Like even I know they're supposed to play up that she's creepy, and like I told you, I forget that she exists, and then I don't sleep well for a few days after I'm reminded. Um, but her partner even seemed legitimately scared to like tag in, so that was a weird match. But yeah, I enjoyed it a lot. Um, I think on the whole, outside of Cody setting on fire and that street fight being pretty damn cool,
Yeah.
Rampage was great.
All right. Well, then we had Tony Nese versus Sammy Guevara for the TNT Championship, which was I guess, your second favorite match of the week.
It was.
It was a pretty great match. It kind of sucks on one level that Nese comes in. I know he's had, again, some dark matches, some dark elevation matches as a tune up, and he was undefeated going into the match, but uh, you know, sucks that he lost, but he lost in I don't know. There's no fault to him. He definitely took Sammy to the limit there.
Yeah, and Sammy took a beating in this one, and Tony Nese put on an absolute clinic. I mean, he looked like $1 million from the time the bell rang. I mean, Sammy pulled off the win. I Was it a roll up? I'm pretty sure it was a roll up, but
Um,
um,
yeah, I think so.
I was
Oh,
kind of
yeah,
okay with it, depending
yeah.
on because if Nice comes out on Dynamite this week and is like you barely, and then we get another one,
Mm,
I'm happy with it. But yeah, it that match was fantastic. Nice is sort of like Eichner. Like there's no reason why he's able to do half the crap that he does. But yeah, that match was great. Had the Imperium tag match not existed, it would have been my match of the week still. Um, but it was awesome. Like I said, we got a Jade Cargill squash match, which I don't understand why these still happen. You have established that she is your she's your Nia Jax. We get it. Um, and then we got the Death Triangle, Sans Phoenix. So it was Penta and Pac against FTR. FTR that are just completely milking the '70s porn thing. But I guess in a wrestling world that doesn't have Joey Ryan anymore, that gimmick was just wide ass open. So I'm glad somebody's running with it that might not get me too in the next week. Uh,
uh, well, and then Phoenix is not injured as much as commentary was trying to to play up, but it worked in the story, and he just had travel issues and stuff, and they
Yeah,
had to be in Mexico on Saturday. So
I thought I caught that at some point they said that he was hurt, but during the backstage promo they said he couldn't be there for travel issues. I was like, like stay on script. Remember what the deal was. But
yeah,
yeah, and then I saw that they FTR retained.
which is crazy, which is not
I,
what I was expecting.
I think it didn't fit their narrative as much with Omega just having to give the
Yeah,
belt away. So next time it'll probably be somebody's time to take those belts from our 70s porn stars here. But in the meantime, it just adds to their gimmick because they're so badass. I love
right.
those guys.
Well, we have Winter's coming up in a week and a half from now. We continue to build that Danielson versus the Dark Order, but ultimately leading to Hangman. But we got Johnny Hungy versus Bryan Danielson this week, which I hope is a pretty damn good match. I hope it lasts a little bit longer than some of these other ones have lasted. But
Oh,
it's I'm really excited about that.
that was the match that I forgot. Silver got to look fantastic
Oh, right, yeah.
before he got his head kicked in. Um, I'm or no, Alan Angels, not Silver.
Mm,
Alan Angels. I really like that guy. And talk about pops. Um, that building went nuts for him. Um,
yeah. In the
I-
building he graduated from high school in.
yeah, which was also a cool thing to learn. But yeah, he got a lot of love from the home crowd. Um, and when they went to commercial afterwards and he was going up the ramp, they let him like bow and like
Mm,
that place went nuts for him. So that was cool to see.
yeah. Well, yeah, so we got the winners coming up. I'm excited to see what happens on NXT with both. I want to hear what Gargano has to say. I might actually try to tune in live, which I normally never do. I normally just watch Hulu the next day. Um, but I do kind of want to know what Gargano's next move is, or at least what he's telling NXT. Obviously, if he is going to try to go to AEW, he's not going to be like, catch me on Wednesdays now. Um, which would be amazing if somehow he did do. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to Tuesday. I want to see what happens with Kyle O'Reilly, and kind of see what just the vibe going forward with NXT is going to be. So yeah,
Yeah, the last thing I'll drop in here. I'm incredibly sad to see Beth Phoenix leave the NXT
mm,
commentary desk. So that may also be a good reason to tune in on Tuesday. Um, just I'm hoping that they can find somebody even remotely as good as her.
yeah,
I would absolutely love it if Samoa Joe was available,
right,
because I do miss him on commentary a lot.
mm,
Um, but I liked having that. I liked having Beth's voice. She was playful and kept it light. She knew what the hell she was talking about. Um, so yeah, she will definitely be. She'll be as missed on Tuesdays as Gargano and O'Reilly probably will be.
yeah. Well, could be like Gargano's version of the salmon jacket. It could be
Yeah,
like, I'm retiring, but not really. Like, and I'm actually staying in NXT. I signed a bajillion year contract,
yeah.
never going away.
Oh, I did.
So,
I don't know if you, because I know you don't watch them, but if you caught any of the stuff from Raw, Maurice and Miz came back during an Edge promo and interrupted him. So there's a lot of speculation that she may be leaving NXT so that she can get herself ring ready again, which would seem a little weird. Like she works one night a week, that she wouldn't be able to kind of do both. But I guess that would take away a lot of family time,
right.
with her having to be gone from where they're not in Cameron, but it's somewhere in North
Yeah.
Carolina. Um,
Well, and then not to completely forget about Moose, but in the fun facts thing that I sent you today in Reddit, Moose has faced both Roman Reigns and Big E in football, like before they got into wrestling. So I thought that was a pretty cool fact. They've met just not on the wrestling ring. But and an even crazier thing, which apparently there's a talk as Jericho about it, but about Cody Rhodes and Xavier Woods were on rival high school wrestling teams and faced each other several times over the years. And also they had the same love interest, that they were after the same girl. So like that's also kind of a weird, crazy thing. And we'll have to find that talk as Jericho to hear both sides of that story.
Yeah, I loved the extra comment. It was like, if you listen to Wood's side, he likes to remind people that Cody Rhodes got a pop for an arm drag at a high school wrestling match.
Oh man! All right, well, ring the bell and you can finish it up here, Matt.
Yeah, ring the bell, like, subscribe, share with everybody you know who like or don't like wrestling. Who knows? Maybe at some point we'll just randomly start talking about Taylor Swift. I don't know. It's likely to come. It's likely to come up between us. There you go.
Jeff Jarrett. Taylor Swift was the babysitter for Jeff Jarrett's kids,
which is
so there you go. Wrestling
nuts.
connection. Yeah.
We'll find a way to talk about some just truly random stuff from time to time. But we have moved into December, which means it's time for me to give some stuff away. So like, subscribe, share. I'll keep an eye on who's doing it, and I might send you some stuff. Like I said, I've got collectors. I think it's called Orange Crush magazines. I have those, both volumes that have been released. I have 2 of the only 500 lithographs of a Kenny Omega poster that have been put out. I should probably give one of those away, because where the hell am I going to put 2 of them? And then, as you can see, I got plenty of stuff on the shelf, so you never know what I'm going to give away. I think the only thing back here that is, there's probably 2 things back here locked down, and that is Tommaso Ciampa, and then the pride and joy of my whole collection, my Mr. Sacco, with certificate of authenticity. I think those are the only 2 things on this shelf I won't just randomly give away. So like, subscribe, share, ring the bell, and I'll start giving away free stuff again.
Nice.